Remembering Christmas in prison. I'm free now, and I'm glad to be free. But thinking back of those days when I was in prison and celebrating Christmas in prison, man, it was rough. I'm gonna tell you a story that's gonna blow your mind on a dude who got canteen. Dude had 4 bags of canteen the week before Christmas. He was balling out of control, and he knew it. His family wanted to do something for him, so they put big money on his books right before Christmas. Dude was a fresh fish. He didn't know how prison worked. So he flaunted and stunted, you know what I mean, on his store sheet. He's like, say, y'all, what y'all think I should get? And dudes was like, man, get them summer sausages. He's like, man, what else should get? About 1 or 2 of them? They said, man, you get two. And things are kind of expensive. He said, man, I'll put 10 of them on the sheet. They said, really? He said, yeah, matter of fact, make it a dozen. He put a dozen summer sausages on the sheet week before Christmas. He had like 150 noodles, ramen noodle cups. You know what I mean? The people told him, look, you can't get 150 ramen noodle cups. They ain't had that many to give, right? So he had to drop it down. So he had about 40 ramen noodle cups. He had about 15 cans of tuna. Dude had about 30 cans of Vienna sausage. He had about 20 Snicker bars. You know what I mean? He had them combination cookies. You know what I mean? The cookie packs where they got the vanilla chocolate mix. He had about 40 of them. Dude had Dr. Peppers, Cokes. He had that mix, that Kool-Aid mix. Extra cans of coffee. He was giving coffee out like he was Santa Claus. When he was filling out the store sheet, dude's like, say, bro, I can borrow a cup of coffee? He's like, man, I got you 2 for 1. Dude said 2 for 1. All right, they knew he wasn't about that life. So they were just letting him talk it up. But they just want to make sure he got that canteen to the store. So all the dudes in the dorm, they were banking on making sure this dude got his bags to the dorm. Dude had protection. You know, word got out in the compound. The little white dude was making about $400 in store, $400 in canteen. And in this prison in Allen, going down the walk back in the 90s, it was brutal. Dudes were robbing you. If you wasn't about your business and handled your business prior to making canteen, then you got coming down the walk with them bags. Or you had to pay for protection. Dudes were paying for protection, so somebody would walk with your bags. You know, you had to have, some soldiers, head busters walking with you holding your bags, or you had to be about that business. The most I ever did, man, I'm pretty sure there was times where I had about 2 bags, but this dude had about 4 bags plus. I forgot what it was. It was so much stuff. He had 4 bags in his hand. That ain't counting the bags the other dudes was carrying for him. His canteen was so deep. That's back when you could buy cigarettes. Man, dude had caught the buglers. You roll them up in jail. He had all them buglers in there, Dudes were going to gamble all Christmas. It was going to be a good Christmas. They were banking on them. You could hear them words, The rumors basically in the dorm was, and this is just the way it is in the southern prisons. Dudes was talking, the white boy gonna make canteen, you heard me? Dudes be like, for real, bro. Man, make sure nothing happen, man. Them other dudes from the other dorm, they gonna hear about it, you heard me? Make sure don't nobody jack the white boy, you know what I mean? I'm making sure, bro. Look, because see, once he get in the dorm, then we gonna get him. we gonna get him on a spade table. we gonna take his stuff no matter. They're all planning and plotting. Some dudes are getting them on a 2 for 1 on the coffee, but they're really not gonna pay him nothing. They just going strong on him because the dude's, the dude who hadn't made the canteen, he's going to come back to him. He's going to be like, hey, man, remember that coffee I bought you? I'd like to get my 2 packs back. Boom! Dude going to bat him in his mouth. He ain't going to do nothing. He wasn't no head buster or nothing like that. He was just a regular dude. Like I said, a fresh fish. And this was his first Christmas in prison. And he was in one of those little wild west satellite camps. That's what they called the satellite camps in Louisiana back then, Wild West. Most of the dudes was trying to get to the state prison, because a lot of the dudes in the satellite camps, they were like, man, state prison got more respect. These little youngsters that are all in these satellite camps, all they do all day, every day is fight, steal, fight. You get in the penitentiary, dudes, you get some older convicts, they all doing a life sentence, so they respecting each other, so you ain't going to bring some of that chaos on the tier, though they still have a lot of chaos. But some of the older cats just wanted to get to where they can relax. And these youngsters in these satellite camps is like the wild west, like heading to San Francisco in the west. You got to blaze the Oregon Trail. You know what I mean? Dusty saddle and all. Well, that's how it was. And this little dude didn't know it when he went to canteen. So canteen day comes. His sheet was filled to the brim. Dude had pencil marks all on all the pages. You flip it over, 15 deodorants. You know what I mean? Secret. He even had the women's deodorant because that's what they sell in the prison. Some of the dudes like to wear the secret deodorant. I don't know why, but they sell that too. You know? He had the toothpaste. Dude had 13 pair of shower slides. He ain't got but 2 feet. So he was getting the shower slides, man, extra shower slides. He went to the thing, the cap who worked the canteen list, in the canteen, they handed it out because it's an officer's work. It's like 13 shower slides, 13 shower slides. What you gonna do with 13 shower slides? You can't get 13 shower slides. You can only get 2 pair at a time. Dude's like, give me the 2 pair. He's like, 2 pair of shower slides. And they got an inmate in the back, and the inmates are putting the stuff in the bag. And the cap's gonna check it off and hands it to him. Boom, take it out of his account. They taxing Bob Barker, you heard me? So they got them Bob Barkers, and now the dude got them shower slides from them Bob Barkers. 2 pairs, he need 13. So some of the dudes are upset. You know what I mean? He ain't getting the full canteen sheet, But down the whole walk, everybody's watching because they've been knowing that this dude's about to spend $400, $500 on the canteen. And it's Christmas time. Like I said, it's going to be big gambling, lots of gambling. Every single table on the weekends, especially during holiday times in prison, is gambling, man. Dudes is running Texas Hold'em, spades, you know what I mean? Dirty hearts. They betting everything, you know what I mean? You even got the dudes playing Scrabble. They betting. It's so crazy, you know what I mean? They got, dudes betting on checkers, chess, you know what I mean? They got the football games they betting on. They bet on the Jerry Springer show. It was so crazy. They call it fight night. When the people on Jerry Springer fight, you didn't know if you was going to be the one to get snuck. They'd be watching Jerry Springer up in there. You know what I mean? Jerry Springer. Boom, as soon as Jerry Springer's people started fighting, boom, dudes started fighting. I didn't even go in the TV room back in them days, I was cautious of that TV. I stayed away from that TV. That TV will get you banged up, man. Them dudes were fighting in the TV room behind Jerry Springer. As long as you wasn't in there, you had nothing to worry about. You went in there, you wanted to get part of the fight. Well, you got part of the fight. If you wasn't about your business, that was it. Like I said in my other videos, you go back and watch. I've been in almost gotten one fight behind the television in prison. And that was it. I stayed away from that TV. I wasn't about that life, I wasn't going to let nobody take my canteen. Best believe that. They weren't gonna steal. They weren't gonna take nothing from me, Now I had some canteen stolen from me in the parish jail, but I didn't see nobody took it from me in front of my face ever in prison. Never, not once, But so old boy's coming down the walk. He got all them bags. He got dudes holding the bags, and dudes like, say, bro, y'all got the white boy, you heard me? Y'all ain't gonna let nobody get them bags, you heard me? Y'all holding them bags down. Say, bro, I told you to get transferred to the dorm, you heard me? But you want to stay in that dorm, you heard me? You should have came over here, bro. We going down for Christmas, you heard me? We going down. He said, man, send me a tuna, you heard me? Send me that tuna. He said, man, nobody got no tuna for you, man. You still owe me 2 Viennas, you heard me? Man, you got a cigarette? Dude's like, man, I ain't got no cigarette, man. You better get the re-rolls. And re-rolls, as you pick up off the ground, you know what I mean? That's what them vagabonds smoke, Dude named Boxcar Bill. That dude named Boxcar Bill, he was riding in boxcars, he's a vagabond. So he used to pick up them cigarettes and re-roll them. 5 or 6 or 10 of them cigarettes flucked on the ground because them dudes would be gambling with them butt cans smoking. Like a choo-choo train, man, like a locomotive headed out west, like the Wild Wild West, because this was the Wild Wild West in the prison. Allen Correctional Center in Louisiana. There had 2 of them, two private run facilities. Allen Correctional Center, Allen they call it, and Winfield, and in Cottonport. That's the 3 in Louisiana. That was private run facilities that the state paid private facilities to run and have the security for, But they were chaotic little camps. Sometimes they'd be understaffed. And if there wasn't a guard that could check on the dorm got crazy. Like I said, dudes was in there smoking weed. They had them socks, So that was another thing. Dude had about 18, Johnson & Johnson baby powders. They put them baby powders in them socks. Pop, 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 pop. Like a fog smoke, you know what I mean? It goes off, like potpourri. Try to hide that weed, but it don't hide nothing. They can't realize that. All you do when you hear it, when you smell it, the guards know what it is. But the guards come in there. Sometimes the guards smoke weed with the inmates. This is how it was going down during Christmas. Guards coming in, man. Because, the guards bringing it in there. People breaking them off and paying them. Wasn't nothing for the guards to bring a couple bags in, A quarter bag in prison, man, you get you a pen. They call them pen joints. Get your little pen joint for Christmas. And they had that Sudafed. Man, you know them white dudes figured out how to use that Sudafed. They were crushing that Sudafed up, smoking that too. And then the other dudes had that Cinequine. They smoked that Cinequine. Dudes were walking around like zombies. But not the white dudes. During Christmas, they had that Sudafed. They were smoking that Sudafed. This is back when real Sudafed, you could still buy Sudafed on the canteen sheet. Oh, yeah, that's what the white dudes told the other little white dude, the one who made them with the $500 canteen. They said, get 18 boxes of Sudafed. Everybody was buying Sudafed. There wasn't no Sudafed. Other dorms knew if they dorm went last. Say, bro, y'all buying up all the Sudafed, bro. Other white dudes said, dude, man, you can't take all Sudafed, dude, man. Freaking, man, I'm gonna bang you up, man. Got my shank, man. You better freaking give me some of that Sudafed, man, for a jig you up, man. I'll gut you up. Give me some Sudafed, man. You're not gonna have me in there drinking that Folgers, man. Straight cowboy, dude. And I ain't got no Sudafed, man. It's freaking all weekend, man. You know, we have to go work in the field, man. Dude's like, man, you ain't gonna do nothing. He's like, man, bet that, dude. Bet that. I've been sharpening something that long all week long, man. I'm gonna get with you, man. And they're like, man, I got you, man. Somebody gonna give you your Sudafed. You're like, cool. All I want's a box. Dude want a box of Sudafed. So you can take that Sudafed, hit that coffee, you know, that Folgers, or that cowboy. That's what it is. Gunpowder or rocks. The gunpowder was that instant coffee. You know, it's like powder. You know what I mean? They put that, mix that. So, look, sugar? Sugar's like crack. Dude will do anything for a cube of sugar. It's cubes. Come in cubes of sugar, a little box with cubes in it. Dude, like, you got a cube? Dude, like, I give you a cube, you got to give me a Sudafed, you heard me? He's like, give me two, all right, give me 18 cubes, but I'm going to give you 2 Sudafed, all right? They trading Sudafed cubes. Because, you know, dudes, and look, 1 cube, you'd be glad to get 1 cube, but some dudes just drink a cowboy, like Boxcar Bill. He drink a cowboy with them re-rolls. Before some dudes dump their coffee, I was like, Boxcar Bill's like, I'll take that from you, man. And like, you want that? And he's like, yeah, man, dump that in my cup, dude. That's some good coffee you got there, man. A little bit too much sugar for me. See, Boxcar Bill, he ain't put no sugar. He was drinking his cowboy. Wah, wah, wah. Right off the dusty saddle, man. Right around the flame, you know. He digging up out the butt can. You know, the butt can, he digging up out there. Cigarettes still burn his hands, you know what I mean? All his fingers got calluses on it, you know, Boxcar Bill, you know. But the dude, he came down to walk, man. He didn't get got, because some dudes were getting got for their canteen. Dudes were getting jugged behind canteen. Man, I seen fights on the walk where canteens just flying everywhere because boom, 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 they fighting, man. Dude got them little razors on them toothbrushes. Dude getting sliced. He sliced me, man, sliced me. He's like, man, give me them Sudafeds, you heard me? Give me them Sudafeds. And they fighting. I'm like, dang, man, it's crazy, man. You know, because it's gambling. These dudes was gambling. You don't gamble? And dudes were gambling their booties. Some dudes were gambling their butts. During the Christmas holidays, they were going underneath the rack. They were underneath the rack, man, getting banged up. Smell like poo, powder, and weed. It was nasty, man. I'm like, I got to get up out of here, man. I'm over there reading Behold the Pale Horse. You know what I mean? I'm about 20 years old. I'm talking to this Muslim dude. He about 45, man. Him cool. He like me because didn't nobody else want to read Behold the Pale Horse. He like me. He's like, man, finally somebody who got decent enough to want some kind of knowledge, and I actually read it. You know what I mean? I just wasn't on that iceberg slim. You know, coldest winter and all that. You know, that stuff was fun to read and everything. Everybody wants to read that John Grissom, you know. But you start passing around that real literature, conspiracy theories, man, them dudes don't want that. They want you to tell them about it. You know, so I was on that literature, man. You know, we over there talking about Milton William Cooper, you know what I mean? Sipping that coffee. I was on that gunpowder too. He might have been drinking them rocks, you know? I didn't smoke no cigarettes. I ain't mess with no cigarettes. I ain't gonna say I never gambled. I bet a few times on the pick tickets for the football games and basketball games, and I always paid up. I lost more than I won. I won a few times, but I lost a lot. I just wasn't good at it. I just did it for fun. But I did it a few times, paid mine up, and didn't have no issues. And whenever I did win, I got paid up. So I never had no issues. But I wasn't a perpetual, you know, gambler. You know, you stay away from that gambling table, that spade table, or them knees. They play for them knees. Them dudes be on the ground. My knee hurt. Man, knee swole up. They gonna see the nurse. Say, Sarge, I gotta see the doc. You heard me? And the Sarge's like, for what? Man, my knee hurt. Dude got a metal plate because he got shot in his kneecap, man. He got busted knee. But he gambling knees because if you lose a hand, you got to stay on your knees because you can't pay. Or you drink that water, they make you drink that water. Dudes they bloated, you know what I mean? Pooing water, man. Some crazy stuff, man. Punks on toilets, man. Putting shampoo bottles in their backside, douching. I'm like, man, I remember back when I was growing up, man, we got a go-kart for Christmas. We was on the levee having fun, man. Eating turkey, you know, playing with my cousins, man. We had G.I. Joes and Transformers back in the easy days. Now up in here. Man, this is crazy, man. Man, I'm happy now, sitting out here for Christmas, and I'm going to give y'all a fruitcake. I'm going to eat a fruitcake. I ain't never ate no fruitcake before. We're going to taste test a fruitcake on the live. Man, this stuff is crazy, I know. But welcome to the Pen and Tge Shank, the most unusual and unique crime in prison channel experience on YouTube. Man, you might want to go check out my other videos. Let's blow this community up. Boom! Behold the pale horse.